Welcome to Geneva. We just launched this watch, the Dennison Time+Tide DateNight. It was designed by Emmanuel Gueit, one of my heroes. When I was starting out in watches, I had a picture of Emmanuel biting his thumb, looking over his shoulder on my vision board. I dreamed that one day I would meet the man, but I never dreamed that I would be invited to his atelier or studio, and most unbelievable of all, that I would design a watch with him. So today, if everything goes to plan on this absolutely stinking hot Geneva day, we're gonna go upstairs, we're gonna get to know Emmanuel through his watches, and we're gonna get to know the story of this one, the Time+Tide Dennison DateNight. Let's go. Emmanuel, finally, an invitation to your casa.
Welcome to Geneva.
You turned the heat on for me.
Yeah. It's summertime. This is my studio, my design studio. It's my office. It's where I stay every day, and where I design the next best watches of the next 50 years.
I know. One of them is this one. This is the Dennison DateNight with Time+Tide. We are going to talk in detail about this watch. But first, we have to talk about you.
Yeah. I designed watches for almost 40 years. I get into this job because my father was a watch designer as well, a famous one. Back in the 60s, he was working for Piaget. But I saw my father design since I was born. So naturally, I became a watch designer myself.
You have just an embarrassment of riches on the table. What stands out to you as the career-defining moment in I imagine some of these watches in front of us?
Oh, I'm stuck with the image of the Offshore because in 1989 I designed the Offshore.
Yes.
Just because my boss asked me to imagine a new Royal Oak for a youngest generation. So I designed the Offshore. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Take me through the design process of going from the original Royal Oak to this absolute gym monster.
The idea was it was very macho at this time. It was when women started to wear a men's watch.
Yes.
And I thought it was not cool because watches was the jewelry for men. I had to look like a Royal Oak, but I wanted not killing the Royal Oak. I mean, have the roots of the Royal Oak, you have but make it different without damaging the Royal Oak. That was very difficult. So make it more round, the bracelets, the case.
What did your dad think?
He was polite. he didn't say anything. He was proud of his son, but he didn't say anything.
Which says something.
Which says everything. And eventually later, like in the 2010, something like that, I say, it's a beautiful watch, But Gérald Genta, when we launched in Basel 93, came into the booth and screamed, "You killed my Royal Oak, you killed my Royal Oak." So at the end, he was wrong and I was right. But it's a question of generation. They had to present the model, the finished samples, to the board of directors. I borrowed one of my best friend had a Seduler, with the gas, things like that. Which is quite thick. And so I said, "Give me your Rolex." So I went to the meeting, and it was a big table in wood, we're all around, and I put the Offshore in the middle, and all the grumpy man was like, "Oh, it's too big." And I took the Rolex and I dropped in the middle of the table. I was like, "See, look at the Rolex. It's smaller, but it's still big, and they had a huge audience, and it's big sales, and everybody loved." And even Jacqueline Dimier said, "Oh, you defend very well your product." And Steve said, "Yeah, he's right." I said, "Okay, let's do it to please you."
Tell me about your experience with Rolex. Have you worked for them, or what have you done for them?
I worked for them as a freelance. They contacted me to imagine the new Cellini line, where they had the Cellini, but he was sleeping, and the president of the board asked the number 2 to contact me and to imagine a new line for the Cellini. So I made a design. They asked me, say, what do you think we should do? And I remember Steve telling me, if Rolex do complication watch, we fucked. So I imagine a classic watch based on the historic, bubble case and started to imagine some complication like the date, the moon phase, and
I love that watch, the Cellini moon phase. This is such a sleeper.
So we launched it and it was successful by this time.
Yeah. What was different? Because I imagine people think, who are the faces behind Rolex designs? Because they're not often put forward. You don't get to know the individuals.
They don't want to.
Yeah.
And then probably don't need to as well. So.
What was the experience? Was it different working for them than any other brand?
Yeah, because you're working for a monster. And they say, well, next week we go present you to the people who are going to work with you. And I thought I had like 2 or 3 people, and I arrived to this room and there were like 50, 20 people on the table. And I was like, wow. And they're all working for me. I mean, to develop a watch was for me. Was just,
You're not used to that.
Yeah, I'm used to that. And they do everything in-house. So it's amazing because you can ask whatever you want and you have it in very, very fast way.
Talk about your dad. What watches on this tray you think really get to his point of difference, his individuality, his personality? Which watch would you choose to sum your dad up? There's some, maybe just take me through some of these designs.
That Piaget will define my father. Because
it's a tiger eye.
Is a tiger eye, and he was the first one to put hard stones on dials. Ever. He had this vision of product, and he was always say it's shape in the shape. So the opening of the dial was usually not the same of the shape of the case. That was his feeling, and that's what I like. And he always say he had a very funny that you like as well. It's like when you design a watch, you should recognize the watch and the brand from 10 bar stools. Yeah, I love this. Yeah, and this is the bright link that my grandfather, who was a butcher down the stairs, received for his 20th anniversary working with the butchery. This is the way they used to do it. A butcher would be given a gold Breitling chronograph for 20 years. I was looking at this a little bit earlier, and I have to say, I'm a font geek, and the font on the back of this watch is just impeccable. What was his name? Gaston Gueit. Look at those G's, GG. And then can you read the rest of me in French? It's Souvenir du Moulin, because the butchery called Boucherie du Moulin. Yeah. 1926 to 1946. This watch is in amazing condition. And now we move to what you're currently well known for, which is Dennison. My research about Dennison and my understanding of Dennison is just that for a period before brands were verticalized and before brands had made their own cases, Dennison were a great case maker. In the mid-19th century, 1850s, they started making cases in Britain, and they continued through for, nearly 100 years making cases. And then they stopped, and that's partly because brands did verticalize their manufactures. As the brand stopped existing in the 60s, to relaunch the brand with the 60s looks like watches. I never thought about that. The brand stops in the 60s and 70s, and you just continue, pick it up where they left off. We stock the Dennison collection at Time+Tide in the Watch Discovery Studios in Melbourne and in London. Initially, I thought this might be a little bit niche. We have a 60s style case. We have hard stone dials. It just occurred to me, if anyone has earned the right to use hard stone dials in any way they please, it's the Gueit family. It is. and the shape looks like a Piaget. I mean, actually, it could be a Piaget watch. It could be. It could be a Piaget. Piaget should have done that. Well, it's too late. It's too late now. They should have called me before. This is the text to the bottom right, the hard stone dials, this sort of softened square cushion style case, and then the recessed crown, all these vintage touches. It has been a smash. And the single reason that people come in saying, I want to buy a Dennison
more often than not is because of these hard stone dials, because you did malachite.
Tiger eyes and aventurine.
Yes.
And then we had like 3 colors of sunray. The stones, the idea is having a watch looks like a Piaget with a hard stone dial at 600
600
pound. People are crazy.
They basically punk the industry. It's a Swiss quartz movement, the Ronda movement. So you are getting a taste of the Swiss in the way that this watch ticks.
It's a Swiss made now because everything is produced. Now it's a Swiss made watch.
It's a Swiss made watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think this watch is so popular? What's happened in trends for this to be hitting the spot right now?
Because I decided to make it smaller.
Okay.
And maybe when I decide to do a big watch with the offshore, it's like I'm a trendsetter. I mean,
it's basically Emmanuel. It's Emmanuel's. You're leading the trend here.
I don't know, but I don't really care of the trend. It's like it's what I want.
Yeah.
It's what I want to wear. It's what it's my feeling. It's I want to have a very slim watch, small size, because it's how I feel those days.
Yeah.
And people follow me, so it's good.
This is the intangible power of a designer. This is where we join the chat together. I say to Emmanuel, we have Dennison in the store. It's working very well. I see people just completely convinced. They walk in, it's the quickest purchase. But then I'm wondering, is there any other stones we could do? We first started, though, with an Australian stone. Do you remember?
Yeah. We talk about opal.
We talk about opal.
To make an opal, Australian opal dial.
Yes.
But at this price, finding a opal with good quality, it's not possible.
We tried, but it was hard to scale. So I'm disappointed to hear that the opal is not going ahead. But then you say to me, hey, there's something else we could do.
Yeah.
It hits the same spot of stone craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to move it from just a sliver of malachite or a slice of tiger eye because there's a lot of experimentation that happens with stone dials. So we end up mother of pearl, and there was a Cartier that I kept showing you.
Yeah.
Which has it's a Tank Louis. It's also owned by Pietro, who's standing right here. Pietro comes and visits us in London, and he walks in and he's wearing a platinum Tank Louis with what looks like a marquetry dial, or the stone looks like it's in some sort of perfect mosaic. So I see this and I'm completely besotted with this idea of there being pieces of stone. Of course, later I find out this is not any kind of mosaic. This is a laser etched dial. It's a beautiful optical effect, but it's actually created by a laser just slightly roughing up surfaces in a different direction, which creates this amazing sort of mosaic pattern. So then I have a WhatsApp message a few months later from this man, and we have a mother of pearl inlaid dial in a marquetry pattern. And as you move your wrist in the same way that it picks up different patterns within the dial on this Cartier, it does exactly that with this prismatic pieces of mother of pearl. And I'm completely besotted with it immediately. So this Dennison Date Night will be released on a Molecan strap. It'll be a lovely slate grey suede, and we will finally have something to show for our friendship. Thank you for watching, and let us know in the comments below where you're at with this style of watches. Are you attracted to the notion of having a dress watch? Do you only ever wear your dress watches on date night, or are you far more sophisticated and metro than me to wear them in normal settings? Let us know. Thanks so much for watching Time & Tide. Subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye, Time & Tide. Enjoy your summer.